Hi guys, welcome back to my channel once again here on YouTube. Today I decided to do a rankings of the 2021 WWE Premium Live events or pay-per-views, whatever you want to call them, on DVD and Blu-ray. So yeah, from worst to best, this is my own opinion, by the way, guys, as you know, or if you're new to the channel, this is all my own opinion on each of the rankings. And if you want to comment in the comments, feel free. If you don't agree or whatever, I'd like to hear your rankings of this particular year as well. Yeah, feel free to like if I deserve it today, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Now let's get this video going, shall we? So, coming in at 11th place, I decided to put WrestleMania Backlash. Now, I got lots of mixed feelings about this one in regards to the matches on here. The only match I consider worth watching is the Roman Reigns versus Cesaro match, which was pretty cool, but it wasn't enough to save the pay-per-view in my opinion. The other matches, I don't know, either found boring or just lackluster. Just my opinion, though. We had well, let's wait for it. We'll get to it. Yes, the Z word, wasn't overly keen on that in the match between The Miz and Damian Priest, I think it was, or was it Morrison and Priest? One or the other. I just wasn't keen on it. It's it's stupid because I tried to watch this with my girlfriend, and back when it happened, and it just changed her perspective on wrestling as well. Why have that in a wrestling, not only in a wrestling match, but why have it in wrestling anyway? Fucking zombies. I mean, what the hell? It's like a mashup of The Walking Dead and wrestling. I tried to see the fun side to it, but I just couldn't. And to me, that just completely killed the pay-per-view for me, for what it was. The name as well is off-putting. WrestleMania Backlash. I'm used to it being called Backlash because I'm old. But yeah, Backlash should have just been kept that name, and the zombies shouldn't have even been a part of the pay-per-view or the premium live event or the match itself. Do you see what I'm saying? Maybe things would have been different and I could have bumped this higher up on the rankings, but I know some of you might think, oh, you can't just hold the zombies against it. It's not just that. Like I said, I found some of the other matches boring and just not for me. But yeah, Roman Reigns versus Cesaro, the only good thing about this, in my opinion. I really don't want to talk about that annoying shit to do with zombies anymore. Let's move on. So that was my 11th place ranking. Some of these other ones were quite hard to rank because they had like a few good qualities about them in each of the premium live events, some good matches and stuff, but they weren't great premium live events, if that makes sense. But anyway, it was hard to decide where to put each of these, but going into the top 10 then. So in 10th place, Survivor Series, which I have on Blu-ray. I felt the men's elimination match, the traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 match, went on for way too long. It just became boring. And I guess my attention span as I'm getting older for wrestling is just, you know what I mean, not great. Maybe it's that, I don't know. But yeah, I just felt this one completely dragged, and it didn't need to go on as long as it did, especially for a Survivor Series traditional elimination match. I wasn't keen on the main event either. I got nothing against Big E, but the main event just didn't feel right to me. I don't know what it was about it. I didn't mind having Big E as champion. I just think it should have happened a year or two before 2021, maybe. It just felt too little too late for him to have the championship. It is similar to Moose in TNA. I felt like he had the world championship a bit too late in TNA. And, the ship had already sailed at that point. But that's just my opinion on that. Good wrestler though, Big E. But yeah, wasn't keen on the main event. Not at all. I did like Omos winning the Rock's 25th anniversary battle royal. That was pretty cool. I do like Omos. Becky beating Charlotte was pretty cool as well. But yeah, this just didn't feel good for a Survivor Series pay-per-view, which is unfortunate, really. In ninth place, I decided to go with Money in the Bank, with Roman Reigns just looking at nobody in the ring on the front cover artwork there. Yeah, I did like Roman Reigns versus Edge. It was a cool match. That should have been probably the WrestleMania match they should have had together instead of that triple threat match, which we'll get to later. But yeah, that's probably the only highlight for this premium live event. Wasn't keen on both men and women's Money in the Bank winners. Spoiler alert! So first of all, Big E winning the men's ladder match for the Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but there were other wrestlers in that match that could have benefited more from a title opportunity rather than Big E. Like I said, I felt that the ship had already sailed for him a year or two prior to this. So yeah, it was a bit of a disappointment. The women's won by Nikki Ash, or ASH, almost a superhero, whatever the fuck it was called. Her initials, whatever it stood for, I can't remember now. I think it was almost superhero, I don't know. But yeah, Nikki Ash, interesting character, kind of reminded me of Molly Holly from back in the Attitude Era. But Mighty Molly, I mean, sorry. And yeah, I just wasn't keen on her winning, I guess. But yeah, I think it is more the outcome of the men's one rather than the women's that was a bit more off-putting. But both the winners in general of the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches, respectively, it just wasn't for me. AJ Styles and Omos as a tag team, though, as tag team champions, I didn't mind that. That was pretty cool. But other than that, yeah, that's my ninth place ranking Money in the Bank 2021. Coming in at 8th place, I decided to go with SummerSlam, which I have on Blu-ray. So, a couple of interesting matches on this one. I did like Edge versus Seth Rollins and Damian Priest versus Sheamus. But I felt the rest of the card just wasn't good. I mean, Goldberg versus Lashley could have been better. They did have an okay kind of feud, but yeah, I wasn't keen on the finish. I think that's probably a bit off-putting for me. Cena against Roman Reigns. Yeah, that should have happened years before this. You know what I mean? Maybe I felt that I needed Cena to win this, but the right choice did go to Roman, and looking back at it now, he did deserve to win that, I guess. But I think the Roman Reigns title reign did go on forever. It just felt like it dragged. Don't get me wrong, I do like the guy, but yeah, it just got boring for me after a while. And then he'd get rid of one legend, and then someone else would return. In this case, Lesnar showed up afterwards, and yeah, Not a terrible premium live event, but it wasn't a great one either, in my opinion. And it's such a shame to see two of the big four pay-per-views so low down on my rankings for this particular year. But it's just the way I am with it, just the way I see it. Coming in at 7th place, Extreme Rules. Not a lot of great deal to talk about with this one. We kind of got lied to, because the only Extreme Rules match we had was the main event between the Demon Finn Balor and Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Championship, or whatever championship he was holding at that point. I can't remember, sorry guys. But yeah, it was a championship match, and the finish to that one as well was very questionable. The heartbeat and the turnbuckle collapse, etc. Just kind of felt lazy that they could have added stipulations to each of the matches, which they didn't. And that to me, kind of pissed me off a little bit. But they weren't terrible matches, but they, you know what I mean. Apart from the finish of that, like I said, it was a bit annoying. But just my opinion, guys, as I keep saying. So next, in 6th place, before we get into the top 5, I decided to go with WrestleMania 37 from 2021, obviously. This copy's still sealed. And I think this is the one I got that came with an NXT TakeOver disc. Apologies if I've got that wrong. I can't remember. I haven't opened it, unfortunately, or fortunately, or whatever. I'll just move that pile there a second and rest that there. So yeah, we had the awkward hosts, the awkward duo of Titus O'Neil and Hulk Hogan. And yeah, that couldn't be any more uncomfortable to watch than what it was, having them both host WrestleMania 37. A couple of good matches. I did like, from night 1, Lashley against McIntyre, and Seth Rollins against Cesaro, another quality match. From night 2, I liked Sheamus against Riddle. It was pretty cool. The main event from night 2, which was Roman Reigns putting his championship on the line against Edge and Daniel Bryan. The match itself was okay, but the finish kind of felt degrading to both Edge and Daniel Bryan. Sorry, I was going to say Bryan Danielson because of the AEW name change. Here we go with the fucking name changes again. Bunny, get with it. Back then, he was called Daniel Bryan. But yeah, you get what I mean, guys. When Roman piled them on top of each other, or piled Edge on top of Daniel Bryan for the pinfall win. But yeah, apart from that, it wasn't a great WrestleMania. Some of these events as well, some of these from the earlier in the year, I forgot to say, were during the pandemic still, so the arenas were obviously empty, and yeah, that kind of didn't help matters in some of these premium live events. But it's, anyway, as I was saying, it's quite a shame to see WrestleMania so far down my rankings in 6th place. And same goes with the 2 of the other big 4 pay-per-views of the year, SummerSlam and Survivor Series. We break into the top 5 of my rankings now. I decided in 5th place should be Hell in a Cell. Yeah, so this one I felt was slightly better than WrestleMania. I think I preferred, WrestleMania night 1 to night 2. I forgot to say on my notes. It's written down here. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I know we're on to Hell in a Cell now. But yeah, I did prefer Hell in a Cell slightly over WrestleMania. as a premium live event. Lashley against Drew in the main event, very good stuff in their Hell in a Cell match together. Seth and Cesaro, here we go with the name Cesaro again, another underrated, underappreciated, talented wrestler that was in WWE, just wasted away. So many good matches, especially this year, it really stood out for me. He deserved a good run with the World Championship, or one of the top championships, in my opinion. Awesome wrestler all round, Cesaro. Claudio Castagnoli, as he's known in AEW now. Fourth place, I decided to go with Elimination Chamber. Now, the chamber matches themselves were okay. It was interesting that poor Drew McIntyre had to go through his entire Elimination Chamber match, come out as champion, and just after that we had the cash in from The Miz, and new WWE champion, which was pretty cool. Some people might not agree with that, but yeah, it was good. I didn't mind that. Usually I would piss and moan about that kind of thing, but you know, it needed cashing in, and The Miz chose a good moment, and yeah, new WWE champion to end the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. But yeah, like I said, it was quite a good Elimination Chamber. One of the better ones in recent years, that's for sure. In third place, I decided to go with Royal Rumble from 2021. It's good that one of the big four pay-per-views or premium live events made it into my top 5 and into my top 3 in this case, in third place, with the Royal Rumble. I like the comic book artwork style they decided to use for that, for the cover there. Really cool. Wish they'd done the same with the disc artwork as well, instead of that basic crap. But that's Fremantle for you, I guess. Yeah, I really did enjoy the Royal Rumble. The women's one was really cool, the women's Rumble match. The men's one was, really cool as well. We had a few surprise entrances, because the year prior to this we had Edge as the surprise entrant. No one was expecting that, and that was really cool, and gave me goosebumps, sent shivers down my spine, all that kind of stuff. The electricity coming from that entrance was just unreal. And then, like, in this particular year, a year later, after the 2020 Rumble, Edge going on to win it, and then his brother, his Attitude Era brother Christian, making a surprise comeback out of retirement as well to be an entrant in the Rumble, was also pretty cool. I felt almost the same way as I did when Edge made his shock entrance year prior to this. I think this was Christian's last appearance in WWE before TK offered him a contract in AEW, because of the great shape he was in, and everywhere he was everywhere he was very well ripped and looked after himself. You know what I mean? He was in great shape, and out of nowhere is what I was going to say. Sorry, so I'm trying to read notes as well. Out of nowhere, you just weren't expecting another shock entrant, and to see Christian back after all those years away was pretty cool as well. A nice feeling, and good men's Rumble. Really did enjoy that, as I was saying. Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns for the championship was a good match as well. That was I haven't got it in my notes, but was that like a last man standing match? Yes, it was. Very good match. There's a screenshot of it there as well. Very cool stuff. I did like this. Very good premium live event. I was happy with that. One of the better Rumbles as well in recent years. Not as good as this year's one, 2024, but quite close up there. Second place, might shock a few people with this choice, because a lot of people, for some reason, hate this pay-per-view premium live event. Fastlane. Now, yeah, I agree. It shouldn't have been before WrestleMania. We already had Elimination Chamber, and some of the stories and everything should have been wrapped up, ready for WrestleMania. The bridging the gap between Chamber and Mania should have already have happened, but they needed to add this in as well. And at the time, I felt it was unnecessary, but then upon thinking about it now and looking back at some of the matches that happened, I appreciate it a lot more. I mean, well, I'm not too sure about the Alexa Bliss against Randy Orton intergender match with Crispy Bray helping her and everything, but it was cool though. I did like that. And Shinsuke Nakamura against Seth was fucking awesome. Sheamus against McIntyre I enjoyed as well. The women's tag match, Nia and Shayna Baszler against Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, I think it was pretty cool in their women's tag team championship match. And of course, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns put on another cool match against each other. So I think this is, like, to me, a hidden gem of a premium live event. It doesn't get the praise it deserves, but just my opinion, I guess. This is a guy that prefers that over WrestleMania Backlash. Maybe I need my head examined, you know what I mean? In first place, maybe I need my head examined for this choice. I'm not too sure, but I decided to go with Crown Jewel. Previous Crown Jewel and other Saudi Arabian premium live events pay-per-views have ended in disaster. And this one in particular, though, kind of makes up for that. And I feel this was really good. Felt like one of the top 4 pay-per-views, like a Royal Rumble or WrestleMania kind of pay-per-view, maybe a SummerSlam. It was that good. The card was well stacked, and I was just very pleased with the matches, how they all played out. Goldberg and Lashley was fucking cool. And we had the main event between, another match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. That one was actually pretty cool, to be fair. And the Riddle coming in on the camel and all the other camels just like sketching out and stuff. I always remember that as pretty cool. Really, really, really good premium live event, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that was my choice for number 1, and highly recommend checking that out if you've never seen that one. It came close to me putting Fastlane in first place, but I got to admit Crown Jewel 2021 was fucking awesome as well. It was very tight between those two. Like I said, you guys might not agree with me in the comments, but let me hear your opinions about it anyway. You've heard mine. You've heard enough of me now. Now drop your comments below. Give me a like, as I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to give me one. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. You take care. I'll see you again soon for another one. Goodbye for now.